Hey guys, and welcome to another Seven Deadly Sins guide. This time we're going to be talking about the Gray Demon raid boss. Now, I was looking around online and I was not finding very good information. I was finding very bloated videos on the Gray Demon fight, and I just wanted to condense it down as simply as possible, team wise, strategy wise, what you need to do to get down this boss as quick as possible and the best heroes to do it. So right off the bat, we're going to be talking about some of the most important parts of the fight. Now, the two big differences between the Red Demon and the Gray Demon is that unlike the Red Demon, where you are trying to freeze, petrify, stun, everything you can do to stop him from being able to attack or do anything at all is not going to work. The Gray Demon is going to be immune to debuffs, immune to ultimate gauge modification, which means that you are going to be kind of on a timeline, generally speaking, and you want to get him down as fast as possible. Now, a couple things here. He is going to be weak against HP/green characters. He is extra weak against fairies, and he's going to take additional damage from shatter effects. And everything that I have been able to find is saying that this team here is the best team, at least on global, that we have right now for taking down the Gray Demon. He is going to be different as well for normal versus hard and extreme, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But the main team is going to consist of our damage dealer, which is going to be Green King. Our support on buffs is going to be Green Helbram, and our heals is going to be Green Elizabeth, at least for the first team. And then it's going to swap out the buffs for Green Gilthunder. And we're going to talk about that as well. King here, and this is the best damage dealer overall. Now, there is an alternative to be using Green Meliodas. Normally it's only going to be used on the normal mode or if you don't have a Green King. The biggest thing here is going to be our magic control, increasing crit chance by 10% per ultimate magic gauge orb and increase by an additional 50% if it's completely filled, which means that if he is at the point where he can do his ultimate, you're going to want to be using all of his attacks before you switch over to his ultimate, meaning that they are going to be critting every single time, which is going to be very, very important. And then he's also going to get that 2 times crit damage increase on each of those. So do not be using your ultimate. Some people don't want to use their ultimates at all with him. The second thing is going to be Ruin. Ruin's not as important. It's mostly one that we're going to be kind of getting out of the way. Because you're not going to be able to do debuffs on the Gray Demon at all anyways. It's going to be something that you're going to be trying to just get rid of. The third thing is that shatter effect, which is going to do additional damage on top of the 420%, 480%. And that's why he's going to be our damage dealer. He's going to be getting those 2 times stats, increase in the critical damage. So the two differences between the teams is primarily going to be between your Helbram and your Gilthunder. And the reason being here is primarily going to be for the attack related stats increase, trying to get that as high as possible, syncing between Gilthunder and Fairy Helbram to combine their increases in attack for the nuke. Primarily doing this if you are on hard and above on the Gray Demon when he is grounded, but on normal, just doing that as fast and hopefully at the same time as possible. You do get a couple turns with this, so as long as you're communicating a little bit and both of you know the strategy, it should be very, very simple to get those to combine. But that's primarily where Helbram does come in, is that increase. He is going to get an increase from being HP, from being a fairy, but that is the main goal when it comes to Fairy Helbram. The second buff support character is going to be Gilthunder. His is going to be the same thing, except that he is going to get a much bigger increase in his bonus with that 60%. So hopefully we're able to hit that goal. He is also going to be HP related, so he does get that bonus as well. And you can see that he is good for Gray and Crimson when the Crimson Demon does eventually make his way into our game. because you're not going to be able to crowd control the gray demon the way that you do the red demon, you are going to need healer, and you're going to need someone that can get rid of the debuffs that are applying to you, and that's the primary goal with Elizabeth. Now, not only that, but because Green King does get more crits the faster you do get those orbs up, and time is of the essence. You are going to get the 2 extra orbs at the start of the battle, as well as being able to get additional ultimate orbs from the combined attack, or her ultimate at the very least. I will say one additional thing. I actually was using Green Elizabeth for part of the story, and she actually doesn't do too bad of damage for being primarily a healing unit. So I think that she is kind of underutilized in the regular game as well, but she is probably the #1 healing that I've been able to find when it comes, or support unit / healing unit when it comes to the Great Demon. In closing, let's break this down even more simply, all right? So with each character, they are going to have a very specific role. King is going to be our ultimate damage dealer. You're going to want to build up his ultimate meter. If he is at max and you do have some time left on the buffs from Gilthunder and Helbram, try and use his regular attacks as much as possible before using his ultimate. Gilthunder and Helbram, all you're really going to be wanting to do with them is preparing their buffs as high as possible for the nuking stage. This goes double for if you're going to be on hard mode or above, where you're going to try and get the Gray Demon while he's on the ground. Hopefully you can knock him out of the ground, then nuke, because he's going to have that turn where he is stunned. And the third section is going to be Elizabeth, which is going to be healing off debuffs and just general heals. She doesn't do bad damage on her own, but that's not really where we're going to be focusing with her. And then each team is pretty much going to have the same job. So it's rinse and repeat on that. The only other thing is on the hard and extreme modes as well. The Gray Demon is going to switch between ground mode and flight mode, and that's going to, in this case, it shouldn't matter, but if you do bring a melee unit in, it would stop him from being able to be hit while he is in the air. So if you do end up switching out King for a green Meliodas, which is really the only viable alternative, it's going to be mostly trying to build up his full counter so that when the Gray Demon does hit, you can hit him back. But really, this is as simple as we can possibly make it. If you do see somebody else varying greatly, and you are on hard or above, I would try and back out and find another group. They probably are not totally sure what they're doing in that fight, and you're just going to waste valuable time. Unless you have another suggestion, or if you do have another suggestion, put it in the comments below. There is a lot to this game. Stuff is changing all the time. If you do have an alternate strategy, I would love to hear it and make another part 2 on the Gray Demon fight. But that's it for the Gray Demon. Really simple fight that's kind of been blown out of proportion, I feel, a little bit. If you do like this video, consider like, comment, subscribe, all the good YouTube stuff, and have a wonderful day. Peace out, guys.